Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. We open in the 22nd century between a blue giant and a white dwarf. A luxury cruise liner is passing between the two when it's struck by a bolt of space lightning or something. Only one escape pod manages to eject before the ship explodes and descends on the nearest habitable planet. It crash lands on the desert surface and opens up to reveal three gilded space jockeys as the only survivors of the tragic accident. The maroon space babes Nova, Reena and Meagan depart to look around the area but are quickly swarmed by the hostile natives. Wearing tattered rags, fishnets and plastic bags, the scavengers take the three aboard some Mad Maxian landcrawler. In a nearby part of the galaxy, a mercenary named Wolff is out collecting scrap metal in his dilapidated space hoopty. When he kicks part of the ship out of frustration, Wolff damages the communicator, so activates his android engineer to fix it. I'm pretty sure that he's banging this robot by the way they flirt with each other, but for now Chalmers is ordered to fix the ship. This isn't your regular toaster, as once she's done, Chalmers kicks her legs up on the dashboard like she requires some level of comfort. They overhear a broadcast for the safe retrieval of the three women with a reward of 3,000 space buckaroonies. Wolff checks the computer to learn that the planet is a failed Earth colony that's still off limits due to the plague. That doesn't stop him from taking the job and descending down to the planet, where the pair switch over to the Scrambler. It's an all-terrain vehicle that Chalmers sits in the turret of as they traverse the surface until coming across the women. They're being held prisoner on a pirate ship that uses wind to roll on train tracks and think that this is going to be a quick in and out. It's forced to stop at a roadblock when being ambushed by motorbike-riding marauders wearing spiky armor called zoners. Wolff just sits there watching all the action until a cannon firing on the ship almost hits the girl, so he orders Chalmers to take it out. She does all the work until Wolff finally decides to prove himself a capable fighter when attempting to rescue the tourists. He climbs onto the ship and jumps into the middle of combat, but Wolff wasted so much time that he shouldn't even bother. The three girls are knocked unconscious and prepped for zoners on jet-powered hand gliders to swoop down and scoop them up. They carry them away to the Forbidden Zone while we meet the mortally wounded leader of the scavengers, Patterson. He was one of the original doctors sent here to help solve the plague, but his partner went rogue and is now leader of the zoners. Patterson's sons vow to travel to the Forbidden Zone and avenge their father, but Wolff doesn't care. He just returns to the Scrambler to discover that Chalmers was shot during the fight, and that's the last we see of her character. Wolff just continues his journey alone after melting all of the android's flesh so that none of the locals hump it. When he gets out to check an abandoned facility, the Scrambler is almost stolen by a grubby little earther called Niki. She's an orphan from the original settlers and offers her guide services because she assumes Wolff is here to buy slaves. He enlists her to take him to the Forbidden Zone and puts up with this girl saying strange things like brainwork instead of think. The chatterbox in the backseat directs her new employer towards a character called the Chemist in his Forbidden Zone lab. His job is to prepare women for his Overlord and says that he prefers them skinny, but I can't imagine you get many calories on this planet. He's very pleased to have women who have bathed in the last century and drugs them to take back to his leader. Inside a place called Cemetery City, the planet's dictator Overdog has a cyborg body linked directly into his fortress. He was the doctor deployed here with Patterson until he decided to take over the world and make himself this cool robot body. Speaking of bodies, he forces the women to take off their clothes while showing his arousal by clamping down on his crane game hand. Meanwhile, our hero makes camp and leaves Niki to find her own place to sleep, as he's only got the one sack. He wakes to her trying to snuggle up for some warmth, but she stinks, so he throws her into the nearby pond. Wolff holds her head underwater with a bar of soap until it washes off all the grime and reveals there was a girl under there the whole time. Niki seems pretty traumatized by her first bathing experience when just then another gas-guzzling Mad Max vehicle pulls up. Wolff tells Niki to keep her head down and confronts the driver, but he tries to run over our hero, so he climbs onto the roof. The driver crashes into a rock, throwing Wolff onto the ground, but wrecks his tractor in the process, so jumps out. He's revealed to be an old friend of Wolff named Washington, who's also competing to try locate the missing tourists. Only when he's disarmed does he try to join forces, but Wolff already has a partner, so he turns down the offer and throws Wash's gun into the pond. He leaves him to fend for himself while continuing in the Scrambler to the Forbidden Zone with his enthusiastic guide. By nightfall, they begin to get attacked by rage-plagued zoners, so the pair find a nice missile silo to take shelter inside. They climb up the tower and lay down in a sealed-off room, but can't get any sleep as they begin to hear noises. Having a look around, they come across mutants hanging in cocoons that begin crawling out and trap the pair from descending. So much for no calories in the wasteland, as these things are so fat that they require sliding through tunnels to get around. Wolff and Niki fight them off and find another way to reach the vehicle before getting overtaken by their plump pursuers. Back on the road, or lack thereof, the pair pass through a flooded facility where Niki is made to get out and check for any potholes. She's abducted by a subterranean tribe of Amazon women called the Barracudas, and Wolff almost completely forgets about why he's even here. The leader says that breeding with this man would kill him, but Wolff has been waiting for this moment his whole life, so jumps straight into their net. Surrendering for death by Snoo is Wolff alongside Niki, but a sea monster emerges, so all of the armed women run away. Wolff still has his gun, so he destroys the beast, releases Niki, and escapes the facility all before the horny water women can return. As they continue the journey on foot after losing the scrambler to the soggy seductresses, Niki eventually succumbs to dehydration. They're luckily found by Washington, and the situation's reversed as it's now Wolff asking for the help and Wash with the means. He gives them a bottle of water and they agree to team up with a 50-50 split of the reward when they rescue the tourists. Niki wakes up mad that Wolff didn't consider her in the negotiations, and they return to get the scrambler off screen before pulling over. Wash says that he's going to buy 2 androids with his half of the money, while Wolff shouts at Niki for thinking that she's getting a cut. He's rather acting like a father figure and eventually apologizes for being so rude, but still isn't cutting her in on the deal. Just then 2 motorcycles pull up as the sons of Patterson have come hunting the Overdog for their revenge. They arrived at the worst possible time because some of the Chemist's experiments show up at the Zoner's bidding. Looking like mutant children, they begin hurling Molotov cocktails at the group, but all 5 manage to escape the canyon unscathed. They finish their journey to Cemetery City by nightfall, where they basically just walk straight in the front gate. Only a couple of guards are stationed at the front, as most of the Zoners are at the arena where prisoners are forced to run through an obstacle course. A vehicle called the Decimator chases them up a spiked wall that collapses down onto a bed of sharp objects. If you make it over that and through the wall of flames, you'll probably get chopped up by some of the saw blades. Niki was told to wait outside in the truck where it's safe, but decides to go walking around and gets captured. The Chemist says that he likes this one because she's more fiery than the tourists, but the Overdog throws her into the arena anyway. Meanwhile, Wolff wears a disguise to get close to the women being held in a cage while Washington and the brothers free the slaves. They then cause an explosion to draw the guards away so that Wolff can rescue the tourists without having to fight many people. Before they make it out, Wolff spots Niki in the maze, and despite already having what he came for, he stays behind to save her. When she's about to be run over by the Decimator, Wolff shoots the driver, causing it to crash before getting swarmed by the audience. Niki makes it to the end of the maze, so the Overdog congratulates her but lied about ever letting anyone leave here alive. He brings her to his lair and uses something called the fusion tube to drain her youthful energy and recharge the Overdog. Wolff swoops in for the rescue and kills the Chemist simply by busting some little sack of water on his shoulder. He then has a shootout with the Overdog, but this cyborg never takes cover once, so Wolff is actually just a horrible shot. Eventually landing an explosive round and seemingly destroying the warlord, he then walks right up to him, getting grabbed by a mechanical hand. The Overdog takes the time to give his villain speech about "You lose and look at all of my cool metal components." Wolff is given all of the time in the world to touch a power cable to one of Overdog's highly conductive claws and electrocute him. It causes a self-destruct sequence throughout Cemetery City, so our hero rushes to release the girl and get out. The fortress comes down, trapping Wolff and Niki inside, but they're rescued by the timely arrival of Washington. He's come back for his friend and escapes with the 3 girls driving the scrambler as the city blows up behind them. Back on Wolff's spaceship, everyone celebrates the successful rescue except for Niki, as she must return to the wasteland. Wolff invites her to join his adventures in space, and the two hug it out before getting the hell off this planet. And the movie ends.